Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Are you feeling charitable? Then smash the subscribe button and the like button, and please do follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. So, yesterday we had this huge batfleck trended event. Congratulations, everyone. It trended high. Welcome to Sunday's edition of the DC Daily. But, unfortunately, as usual, from something positive and us showing love to Ben Affleck, who's played one of the best Bruce Waynes and Batmans in live action, we got some throwback from people like Mr. Jim Voda, Blue Tick, Access Media, mainly with IGN, who are not big fans of Snyder. He had a few words of warning for us. For all the people who made... No, let's start again. For all the people who made Batfleck trend again, how dare you? He didn't say that. It's a joke. Not a very good joke, by the way. He didn't want that role anymore. He has spoken candidly about how his time making those films fueled his relapse into alcoholism. You're getting the Snyder Cut. Please move on. No, that's not what Ben said. Ben didn't say that the film and the character forced him into relapse. He said he wasn't in a good space himself at the time. I think you could be sued by Ben Affleck for defamation of character and misinterpreting his intentions and his words. We carry on because there's more from Jim. Jim's not done with us yet. I did like Affleck as Batman, the most physically believable of all the Batman actors. And he also looked like the Jim Aparo depiction of the character. But he clearly wanted to move on following his experiences making those two films. He can read minds. He can read minds. It's okay. It's fine. I will get to all of this because Jim, yes, Jim, has even more to say. Yes, he comes back a few hours later to see that the Snyder community, the DCEU community, isn't to be messed with when, for no reason, we've done nothing to him, but he came at us. Anyway, he came back, finally seeing these responses to this tweet, and I appear to have released the Snyder Cut. That's sarcasm, by the way. If WB really wanted to bring Affleck back as Batman, and you're assuming he would want to, then they would have sprung for reshoot dollars for Snyder Cut, which they're not. Again, Jim, you're wrong. You're wrong, Jim. HBO Max themselves have said, when they were asked about the $30 million reported fee that the Snyder Cut is going to cost to finish up, they said, we wish it was $30 million. So if they wish it was $30 million, should we just kind of guesstimate here and say it's no less than $60 million? What are they doing with $60 million, Jim? I wonder what they're doing with $60 million. What, CGIs and VFX? Is that what you're saying, mate? Nah. They are doing extensive reshoots. You know it, and I know it. Now, I don't know if Affleck's involved in them. Probably not, because they've got enough footage of him already. Jim, let me ask you a question. If HBO Max gives Zack Snyder's Justice League a second and third season, and he's asked, right, and he's asked to do it again, right, come back as Batfleck, right, and Bruce Wayne, is he going to say yes or no? He's going to say yes. If he's moved on, right, why did he release the Snyder Cut? Why has he been literally retweeted stuff from Zack Snyder as well? Access Media no longer has access. What puzzles me, Jim, why are you bothering to comment on this? Because it's a trending event and you want to make yourself relevant because Access Media is no longer relevant anymore. Let me educate you, Jim, to why we did the Batfleck trending event. We want to show Ben and the world and Warner Brothers, Warner Media and AT&T how much we love this guy and his performance that he put so much hard work into, right? How much we appreciate him. We are not putting the pressure on. We are not saying, Ben Affleck, you have to play Batman again. That's not the thing. The point is here, we're saying, Ben, we admire you, we respect you, and he knows that. He knows that. We're just showing him love. But you had to turn it into something poisonous, like you authoritarians always do. I've noticed he's retweeting, putting down the police in America again. The DC police, not the DC Comics police, right? But the real DC police, right? These are the kind of authoritarian people who like to stir the pot. So sorry, Jim, you're wrong. There are going to be extensive reshoots, and if Ben is asked to continue on in the series that's going to become Zack Snyder's Justice League, he will say yes. So Jim, Ben Affleck hasn't moved on. There will be extensive reshoots. You are wrong. And this is what happens when you come at us and attack us. And let's not forget, when IGN talk about mental health and putting pressure on people, what about the pressure you put on Zack Snyder with your reviews and responses to Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman? Your unfair responses. How did you do? What did you do for his mental health? So before you come in pretending you're this brilliant white knight, always remember, we can see through all of you. These critics and pundits and scoopers are so salty still. They are crying 20 pints a day of salty tears, and Jeremy Conrad is like Jimva Jumada, whatever his name is, right? About Ben Affleck not coming back as Batfleck, right? And this is what he had to say. WB isn't announcing, WB isn't announcing Affleck's return at a fan convention when they have fandom. They've already decided to replace Affleck's Batman with Keaton in the DCEU. False. Affleck has moved on from the role, and even if the Keaton talks fall through, they have a backup plan. That isn't Affleck. They're talking... we'll get to that bullshit later on. Don't worry, we'll get to that. So, what's your flipping name again? Jeremy Conrad, right? So, Jeremy Conrad, if you ever see this video, which many people don't anyway, but I'm going to say, it's not about how many people watch this video, it's what I've got to say being aired at the end of the day. And if only one person sees it, I love you. Agree or disagree with me? Jeremy Conrad, you are talking absolute BS. We don't know if Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill are going to be at the DC fandom, right? It could be a surprise, right? So they haven't announced them. So quite possibly, who knows? Will he be there? Will he not be there? I don't know. Is life really like a box of chocolates? I don't know. But the point is, Jeremy, neither do you. So why don't you zip it, right? Because I'm sick and tired of Access Media. I'm sick and tired of Verifies telling us what to think, telling us what to vote, and then you play the victims. All those people, all these toxic masculinity fans are attacking us. Of course we're attacking you, because you're triggering us, and we have had enough, right? We are ordinary people. We're not used to just holding our feelings in. You are purposely triggering us, on purpose. You don't know if Affleck's coming back. And again, like I said to Jim Votz's face, right? At the end of the day, right, you don't know what's going on. Don't make statements you don't know about. Now, I'm going to come back about these fake scoops. So, Jeremy Conrad claims there's a better plan, another plan, other than Batfleck, if the Michael Keaton talks fall through. I would guess the Michael Keaton talks have already gone through and they're fine. Right, but he reckons there's another plan. Right, so yesterday, lots of people, these people who like to seduce the innocent, right, started posting GIFs of Christian Bale's Batman, right? And the hint was that he could come back also in the Flashpoint movie in this new live-action multiverse, right? You have got more chance of seeing me as Batman than Christian Bale. The only way Christian Bale will play Batman again is if Christopher Nolan rings up and says, hey, no, he's not American, is he? He's British like me. Hey, Chris, we're doing the fourth movie. All right, Gov. Do you understand that Christopher Nolan himself asked Christian to come back for the DCEU, right, before they went to Ben Affleck? Did you know that? The original plan was for Affleck to actually direct Man of Steel, and Bale to return as that Batman, and Bale wanted none of it, mainly because of scheduling, and he just wanted to move on. They talk about Ben Affleck wanting to move on. Christian Bale has definitely moved on. He's going to be playing an MCU villain in Thor: Love and Thunder. What do you want him to ring a bell and say, I ain't doing DC anymore, I'm not playing Batman anymore? And you, little sites, trying to hint, and then when you are proved wrong, you come back and say, well, anyone who's been in live action DC is part of this multiverse, that's all we're saying. No, you were trying to give us the impression that Christian Bale could return in the DCEU as Batman, and it's not going to happen. I believe the Michael Keaton thing, it's brilliant, but what you're doing now is you're taking something from a fact and creating a load of fiction, because there's nothing going on YouTube Movie Talk or Twitter Movies right now, right? So, because there's nothing going on Movie Twitter, you want to create a dialogue. It was boring. It was Saturday. We were doing this Ben Affleck tweet along. So you thought, why not? So all these people with all these gifts, you are outrageous and you will never, ever have my support. You put the gifts in to try and make us think that Christian was coming back. Now, you know, and I know, and the guy down the street know that that's never, ever going to happen. But what do you think of all of this after such a positive event, right? What do I think about the future of Ben Affleck? Basically, the future of Ben Affleck, definitely, if we get more Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I think we will, Ben will be up for returning so he can at least finish his story because the character's supposed to be killed off. I think we will get that far. Now, whether or not Ben Affleck wants to return to do his own Batfleck, you know, straight-to-streaming TV show on HBO Max, that's a different case in point. But I can't say yes to you, and I can't say no, because I don't know what's going through Ben's head right now. I don't know if he's already agreed to do this. I know he's been supportive on Twitter, and he doesn't do much on Twitter, really. All he does is really retweet and talk about charities, which is great. And he's retweeted a couple of Zack Snyder tweets as well. So he's still supportive of the movement, and Zack as a filmmaker, we know that. But we will see. So there's no point with people claiming they have access and inside knowledge when you don't, saying this isn't going to happen, that's not going to happen. You know nothing. Nobody does. The best thing to do is wait to DC Fandom, where we get the facts. We get the slates on both HBO Max, cinematically, and everywhere else. Before then, zip it. Comment down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with even more DC Daily. See you again soon.